Happy holidays. Dr. Bowen used to say his aim was not to teach people what to think, but how to think. As we approach the holiday season, how do you think about the Bowen Center and its work? Has it been useful to you and to people you know well? Do you think the theory can continue to make a difference to people who can learn and apply the theory in their own lives? For me, what stood out about Bowen Theory from the first time I heard Dr. Bowen speak was the importance of taking responsibility for self. Or, as he put it, in the first lecture or the first postgraduate meeting I attended, get off the back of the other and on to yourself. What a different way of thinking. So much of the world is focused on what's wrong with the other, how others need to change to make my life better. Bowen Theory helps us to become more objective, more factual about the part we play in relationship systems. We also get more objective about the part others play, but we strive to take responsibility for our part. I can acknowledge I play my part in life challenges, but getting an accurate understanding of what that part is and how I can do better requires an accurate theory of human behavior. Bowen Theory helps us to learn how to think, how we can do better with ourselves. The training programs at the Bowen Center are themselves designed to invite trainees to take responsibility for their own learning. The considerable media resources of the Bowen Center are freely available to trainees as they direct their own learning. The faculty undertake their own responsibility for presenting the most accurate version of theory they can and for conveying their very best thinking. Faculty strive to be the most thoughtful consultants they can be to trainees who are learning to apply the theory in their own families and in places of work. And faculty work largely for free, donating much of their time to the work of the center and to the training program. The Bowen Center has taken on the mission of leading the development of Bowen Theory into a science of human behavior. A goal of that mission is to collaborate with scientists and participate in scholarly pursuits. The fall symposium exemplified this goal. Dr. Eric Holmes presented his work on symbiosis in nature and the way human activity impacts on symbiotic attachments, often to the detriment of key ecosystems on which we depend. His study of reciprocal processes among symbiotic partners could help us to adapt to a changing environment. Bowen theorists, for their part, presented on a variety of topics that engage Bowen Theory with Dr. Holmes' presentation and with other developing sciences, including neuroscience, epigenetics, and evolution itself. Research based on Bowen Theory was also part of the 2 days. Lively exchange between Dr. Holmes and the other presenters and the audience represented the kind of natural systems thinking Dr. Bowen used to develop his theory. The center also continues to take on the other half of its mission, assisting individuals, families, communities, and organizations in addressing major life problems through understanding and improving human relationships. Just last week, Victoria Harrison led a clinical conference on the topic of what changes in Bowen systems psychotherapy. She presented on her observations of Change Project that studied changes in the physiology and functioning of participants in the postgraduate program as they worked on differentiation of self for up to 3 years. She described some of the differences between family psychotherapy based on Bowen Theory and other approaches. She reported on an intriguing finding that increases in emotional reactivity can also be accompanied by an increase in intellectual activity, suggesting that increases in reactivity may help to fuel the energy for intellectual activity as people work on improving their level of differentiation. Next year, on the 10th of February, the center will sponsor a conference for leaders of faith communities titled Forging a Faithful Path in Chaotic Times, looking at self, congregations, and our society. The conference will address some of the challenges that leaders of communities of faith face as the intensity of emotional process in society manifests in polarizations within congregations. The conference will suggest that Bowen Theory, and particularly differentiation of self, can provide a way to pursue a religious vision while maintaining relationships with people who agree and with those who disagree. Then in April next year, the center will sponsor a conference on a systems view of family violence. With dedication and energy, the center is pursuing its twin mission of leading the development of Bowen Theory into a science of human behavior and assisting with major life challenges through understanding and improving human relationships. Every member of the faculty, each in their own way, take personal responsibility for pursuit of the mission. This coming year, the center will develop a strategic plan to take us into the future, building on the considerable achievements to date. I want to thank you for your past support and for what it has allowed the center to do. Please consider making a financial contribution to the center this year. Thank you for your help in continuing to give Bowen Theory to the world.